Hi, comic book fans, and it's a Monday night, so welcome to the Price Variant show here on suddenlycomics.com. And as usual, my co-host with me tonight is the man in his Game of Thrones comic throndom, Alan. Yay!
Hello.
Right, so what are we doing this week? This week we are taking a look at the Cover Price Weekly Report. This is something I don't think we've done before, but it does throw up quite a lot of interesting comics that don't appear on other lists that are worth talking about. And we reviewed the first half of this list on Alan's channel, and it was quite interesting because some of them he'd actually bid on. So the ones they were talking about, the prices that had been realised, Alan had actually been there and done that. He didn't win them, but you know, he will at some stage. And yeah, so on with the show. Let's get on with the next lot of comics. So that was the one we looked at last on Alan's show, and the first one we've got here on my show is The Shadow, issue 1.
Oh, nice.
The Shadow was a radio show, I believe.
And it was also a pulp originally.
Ah, okay.
It's actually considered to be the one of the oldest characters, for like superheroes.
Okay. And it says here, oh yeah, there was an Alec Baldwin film, wasn't there?
Yeah, so the Shadow, just for any like kind of comic history buffs, is sort of the character that inspired Batman.
Okay.
So he's seen as the inspiration for Batman.
Oh, is he
So
the one who knows the fear in men's hearts? The Shadow knows. Is that?
yes, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, very cool book. Okay.
You haven't got this one, have you, Alan?
No, I don't. I actually didn't even know what the cover looked like, to tell you the truth.
Well, look, it actually says 6D on it. That must be a UK. That must be a UK one.
Yeah, that's a little strange, isn't it? So what does it say? What is it?
Australian. It's Australian.
Oh, that's why. So that's why I wasn't familiar with this. This is probably an Australian variant or something.
Yeah, this is ripped from the Western counterparts we consider reprints for the Australian fans. So this is an Australian
Variant price for like edition.
yeah. A single copy came to market, and these are going to be extremely rare, and reported 3.0 grade and sold for $1,367 with a fat import tax to boot.
So what I'm seeing, this is like part of a new trend, and actually, sadly, it doesn't affect the UK price variants yet. But there's a real trend for like these foreign editions. And Australian editions right now are really hot. There was actually a heritage sale where they were selling a whole bunch of these foreign editions,
Yeah,
and they were realizing huge prices. It was crazy.
it is having an effect on the UK, so it's not the UK price variance that it's hitting.
But it's more like your creepy world and stuff like that.
Allan Class stuff.
Allan Class stuff. I saw that too, actually, where it has a slightly different cover, slightly different. Yeah.
And also the UK Marvel Man stuff. Once Captain Marvel had stopped, Mick Anglo came along and created Marvel Man in the UK. So those are picking up as well. Yeah. Okay, interesting one. I'd never seen that, nor you. We shall know.
Yeah, it's probably all over.
We're not likely ever to see one unless we go looking for it. Okay, Star Wars 81 newsstand.
I probably have this.
You might have. I've got a whole load of Star Wars. Like the later ones, I just don't like because the covers are fairly awful.
So this is like, so one of the things that like, this is a misconception people have about newsstands, by the way, and I feel like it needs to be clarified. Newsstands up till a certain point were the common version of the book.
Yeah, everything was a newsstand. Yeah.
Well, up till 79, everything was a newsstand. But this is after, this is probably 80, 81 range.
84,
maybe
84. So
84,
probably,
some.
it's probably about 50, 50,
So
60, 40.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's probably like 50-50, or maybe slightly more newsstands at that point. So, but the problem is what is happening is collectors have gotten onto the hype of, oh, it's a newsstand, therefore it must be rare. That only works if it's a really high grade.
Yes, I mean they are rarer in high grade because they've been sat on a bloody newsstand somewhere. So yeah,
Yeah.
the chances of you getting a 9.8 newsstand are much lower than a direct copy.
Yeah. So anything above a 9, I would say, even in a newsstand, yeah, sure. It should be worth more. Anything below that, though, you know, there's probably just as many out there as the regular ones.
Yeah. This Star Wars 81 tells the story of how Boba Fett survived the Sarlacc pit. And
Yeah, it is a key issue.
okay, all right. I need to go
Um,
see if I've got this one. I don't. I might have.
I have the whole run, so yeah, this is definitely one I have. So
Right. Okay. And the cover's not too bad. Some of the later Star Wars ones are awful. Right.
yeah, so probably, by the way, quickly on the why it's probably spiking or considered to be sort of a hot book is the Mandalorian
Yeah, we're
next
getting
season coming out.
yeah,
So these books, any of the Star Wars books, kind of go through that,
yeah. Cycle.
yeah, cycle of hype.
Yeah. Right. Sven Gulli meets the DC Universe 1. Who the hell is Sven Gulli?
This one I'm not familiar with. Okay, you go. How about you read it and then we'll enjoy the
When
read.
it comes to horror TV hosts, we had the Crypt Keeper in the 90s, Elvira in the 80s, and Sven Gulli in the 70s. Okay, he was one of the keepers. However, Sven Gulli was specifically regional to Chicago, where he would introduce classic horror films, performing jokes, parody songs, and sketches. So that's why we've never heard of it, because neither of us got
Yeah,
Chicago.
never lived in Chicago. Okay.
So this is some sort of Chicago TV host who introduced horror stuff.
Hmm.
Um, well, Raw
I mean, that would probably mean it's rare, but I would be totally not interested in this
No,
book.
I'm not interested at all. Raw copy is $100. CBCS 9.8, 650. No.
I'm not going to be spending that much money on this book, but
Uh,
it looks like a cool cover. Like I like seeing all the characters. Like,
Bad cover. I mean, Sven Gulli himself looks okay.
mm-hmm.
But I think we'll be avoiding that. Right. It's a Turtles one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 100, limited to 250, IDW 2019.
Oh wow,
Have you got that one? No.
no, I don't.
It's
No,
a cover. It's a Peach Momoko.
yeah, I don't really like that cover. To tell you the truth.
I don't like it either. These last few have not been really hitting our buttons, have they, Alan?
No, no.
Well, I'm not. I am completely no turtles in my collection at all. Plus, I do like Peach Momoko, but I don't like that one. So,
Yeah, she's a hit or miss always for me.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, this one, I think it's there's turtle fans out there. Probably this is there's also Peach Momoko fans out there. So the fact that it's rare, they you're going to get a group of people that are always going to keep this book up. So it's probably a good book if you're a Peach Momoko fan or Turtles fan, which
yeah,
there's lots of.
yeah.
But other than that, I it's just not interesting to me.
And I'm afraid the cover. I think if these things are going to work and really work, it's going to be a great cover. That's not a great cover.
Mm,
It's too
yeah,
busy. It's too confusing.
yeah, there's too much going on. Looks like, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I know this one. Okay, cool.
this is The Thing 7 from Charlton, 1953. Tell us about it, Alan.
So this is a pre-code horror title. I forgot how many issues there were. Not many, actually. Typically they don't go for that much. But there's a few key issues within the run. So there is like one that was mentioned in Seduction of the Innocent. So that's sort of a key. I have that one.
The artist
Uh,
is Lou Morales. Is that a good artist to have a cover from?
Lou what?
Lou Morales.
I'm not as familiar with his name, but I do know with this cover. This is considered to be one of the hotter, more kind of cool covers. It's like sort of a Birdman, isn't it? Like he's got like a beak.
Yeah, the reason this is up here is a CGC graded 1.8 sells for $400, which was double that of a CGC 2.5, which sold in 2020 for 230.
Yeah. So the thing is with these pre-code horrors, especially this title, they're like some issues are actually quite common within the
Yeah,
series.
yeah,
This is one of the more scarce ones.
more difficult to find.
Yeah.
I
So
like
it's
the cover. If I came across that in a bin and it was a fiver, I'd probably buy it.
yeah. So I mean that's it's a title that I'm collecting, but I think that's actually a little bit high for this one. I'd say 300 would have been probably more fair price.
Yeah, yeah, yes,
Uh, but what happens is, as I said, these are scarce. So sometimes people will overpay
yeah.
just because they might not see it again.
I'll see it again. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This one, I'm gonna say I don't know.
I do quite like this list because we get some stuff neither of us know about. Wishes and Rainbows, Federal Reserve Bank of Boston.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
The original Wishes and Rainbows has been a challenging book to find. The promotional comic was published by the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston in 1981 and was provided by the bank to school children as an economics teaching tool, focusing on broad concepts including scarcity, supply, demand, and allocation. And it was all done through good old-fashioned comic book storytelling. In
Yes.
2021, a CG8 9.8 sold for $2,500.
Yeah. So, okay, this is part of a new trend, just so you know. There was a couple promotional comics, not this one, but others, that really kind of hit it off. Okay. And it set a new form of collecting where people are going after these really obscure promotional comics. The most famous one that I can think of, like off the top of my head, is well, actually, there's a bunch. There's This Is Tomorrow, which was sort of like a anti-communist one during the late 40s.
Yeah.
Then there is like I forgot what it's called, but it's one where there's this boy and he's hanging out with a dog, and then in the background there's an atomic explosion. Um, and it was through the teachers.
Like public information documents, like what to do, hide under the table if there's an atomic.
Exactly. Yeah, things like that. There's a group of collectors that find these kind of quirky, kind of weird. There's ones on bike safety. There's ones on, federal spending.
Yeah.
There's one of the ones that I just picked up, and I paid like $700 for it. Just so you know, like promotional comics can be expensive. I picked up Peter Penny and his magical dollar. Okay, that's a really obscure promotional comic about how to save your money and how to spend it wisely and all that kind of
this then.
What?
It's similar to
Very
this.
similar, very similar. The Peter Penny one is also mentioned in the Seduction of the Innocent. So that's why I picked it up. But there are a group of collectors, and that's why I had to pay so much for it, because there are a group of collectors that seek out these promotional comics.
Okay, very interesting.
So what I would say is, a lot of the people that sell comics don't know how valuable these comics are. You can find these sometimes in the dollar bins.
Yeah, you know who collects this type of stuff, don't you? Is Roger. What's his name? Metarog.
Metarog. Also, a friend of mine, Joe from Black Box Silver and Bronze, collects these.
Yes, I know Joe.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of people that I know that collect these promotional comics. And they would probably be the better source for like explain why this is a great one. Yeah. But yeah, I can see it because there are those really weird collectors out there.
That was interesting. Right. Oh, back to more standard stuff.
Okay.
So next one we've got is X-Men 113 from 1978.
Is this Starjammers?
Is this Starjammers? This book is a combination of supremely underrated X-Men arc and pure awesomeness, but some out there value the story it conveys. Enough so that one recent fan recently secured a CGC 9.8 for a new all-time high of $1,000, surpassing
Wow.
the previous high of 930. Luckily, this book in raw grade can be had for less than 100.
Oh, so it's not it's just a storyline. So it's probably like somebody like there's collectors out there that want like a 9.8 copy
Of all of
of,
them.
of all of them, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you're getting, a run filler. That's a very expensive run filler.
Yeah, it is a bit, isn't it? I mean, I wouldn't,
Wow.
if I saw this on a whatnot sale for $10, I probably wouldn't buy it.
Yeah. I mean, to me, like I buy X-Men. I do like collect X-Men, but I only buy the keys. I don't even like I don't go for I'm not trying to get the full run. I'm just trying to I only got the 1 through 20. That was my goal, and that
Yeah.
was it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, not excited by that.
Not super excited about
Now we've got rumored stroke optioned comics. So have you seen this?
Oh, okay.
This is Something is Killing the Children. It was announced
So
on.
there's going to be a live action or
Yeah.
some Netflix
Yeah.
show for it. Yeah. So it's been optioned by Netflix.
Yeah.
And I heard there's even casting. So
I
yeah,
think it's not one of these ones where it's been optioned and it may or may not happen. I think this is it.
no, it is happening.
It is
But
happening.
how quickly will it happen is
They're using the people who did you watch a thing called The Dark? Dark. So a European couple called Baron Boodar and Janty Fries. They had another series, which was cancelled. So they're obviously looking around for something to do. And they're going to do Something is Killing the Children. Both of what the stuff they did, I quite liked. It's sort of dark and ominous stuff, which is just right for
which is perfect for Something is Killing Children. I really enjoyed the series. So, or the first, I only read the first like 6 or 10 books. I don't know. It was like
I got the trade paperback, the first trade paperback, which I've read. I mean, I've got a load of these. I got on the train late, so I didn't get on the Something is Killing the Children trade because this was 2019, and I didn't start back in comics until into COVID, about a year after this start. So this was already at issue 9 or 10, I think, when I got.
So I had bought this right from the beginning.
Did
So,
you? Yeah, well,
yeah.
no, I've been on board since about issue 10. And I have bought some of the earlier ones since. So I've got a pretty decent collection of Killing the Children. Because James Tinian, and he's one of my favourite writers. So
Yeah, he's sort of the hot writer of this generation, I would say.
yeah, because I actually asked him when I saw him at Thought Bubble in November, when are we going to get something of yours on a screen? And he said,
Yeah, I mean, what did he say?
you should watch this space.
So yeah, so I mean, this book has been on sort of a downward spiral for the last few months. It's only the recent news, like I think it reappeared on like Comic Tom or one of those kind of channels. This book was very underpriced. You could have picked up a 9.8, 50, $60. I mean, really cheap.
Yeah.
It was typically it was going for like 250. I mean, it was going pretty high.
It'll be back up there again now.
Yeah, I think so. It was just crazy how low you could get it for, like in auctions, not the buy it now.
I mean, the last few months I've been buying up some of the earlier issues and some of the variants on some of the earlier issues for cover price.
Well, I noticed I just watched your last unboxing where you did Stray Dogs. You picked up a Stray Dogs. You picked up one of the cool variants. Six printing.
Yeah, the Psycho one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of cool. So I think that was a really good pickup, especially you basically bought it for the cost of the slab,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
which is kind of criminal in a way. You know, it's like it's so sad that these have dropped that much. But again, I think it's just I think people that are collecting comics sometimes sleep on things. And we know that there's a show coming for Something is Killing the Children. We know that there's a show coming for Stray Dogs.
They're definitely going to do Stray Dogs. I don't know what they've been doing.
Yeah,
Where the hell is it?
but
It,
people are not patient. It's maybe 2 years, 3 years down the road, but it's happening.
yeah.
So, I mean, if you're a patient collector like I am, like I don't like, I'll sit on a book for 10 years, 20 years, whatever. You know, I don't mind.
Not that I've got 20 years left, but anyway. Um, okay. Yeah, so that's really good. I'm really pleased about that. And hopefully they'll do something with Nice House on the Lake, which is my
Yeah, that'd be another one that'd be kind of cool.
yeah. So there we go. Well done, Mr. Tinian. Um, okay, rumors options on this one. Spider-Verse bite into Across the Spider-Verse. What the hell's this? Vault of Spiders.
I think this just has a whole bunch of spider characters in it.
Oh, Spider Bite is going to be in the Spider-Man across in the Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah, this is one of those cases. Like even like the original Spider Verse featured about five different Spider Verse characters. Like I'd have to think about all of them, but and they all spiked. They all did well.
They did, yeah.
But the point was that what happens is you have a market that will spend like X dollars, and based on the number of characters, that X dollars will get divided by those X character, by the number of characters. So the more characters, the more it gets divided.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
be a lot. There's going to be a lot in the next one, isn't there? And some
I
of
have a feeling there's going to be hundreds of Spider-Man in the next one.
and the
Where they have Spider-Man India, they have Spider-Man paper bag guy, they have Spider-Man, all these different Spider-Man. Where I think it's just going to be like getting them all. It's not going to be something that people are actively going to do. It's going to be like only the key ones that people are going to go after. And I don't think this is going to be a key one.
no,
That,
I think it'll be only the key ones people go. It'll be the Spider Gwens. It'll be the Miles Moraleses. It'll
yeah.
maybe Spider Punk. I don't know.
Spider Punk. Yeah, I think so. I think he'll have a major role. I mean, they came out with Marvel's pretty. It telegraphs, right? It tells you what it's going to do. They just came out with the Spider Punk series, so it's probably likely he'll get a more of a prominent role.
Yeah. Right. And next one, Thunderbolts. Well, we already knew about Thunderbolts.
Yeah. So this is Thunderbolts number 1, right?
Yes. So this is Thunderbolts issue one. It's
Ongoing.
Stephen Huen was recently confirmed. I don't know who he is. Confirmed to appear in the.
He's the guy from The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. Right. That's why I don't know him. Uh,
Yeah.
Going to appear in the upcoming Thunderbolts film, noting that his role will be not only significant to this film, but could also play a role going forward in the future films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Of course, speculation on who he will be playing has run rampant. The current
Yeah.
roll around the Century, Hyperion, Amadeus Cho, Kid
Yeah.
Yu, Swordmaster, and Kong Keenan.
So I'm thinking, my guess is that he might play Amadeus Cho.
Okay.
And Amadeus Cho, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the character, is
Awesome Hulk, or what? Totally Awesome Hulk.
yes, he's like the Asian version of Hulk. Yeah. I don't know where Marvel is going to go in the future. Um, like one of the things that people don't realize about movies is what we're looking at right now is really movies from 5 years ago. Movies that are coming out now are actually 5 years ago.
Yeah, because of COVID. So they were in the being.
Yeah, well, not just because of COVID, but there's always the 3 year production time.
Yeah.
Where they take that much time just to produce a movie.
Yeah.
But COVID did slow it down, so I'm adding 2 years to that. So really 5 years. So 5 years ago, you got kind of like this woke was cool.
Yeah.
Woke was the in thing to be. Um, the the recent kind of like maybe 2 years ago, they kind of realized that maybe woke is not such a cool thing.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is I think a lot of these projects will get abandoned. Where they'll start like they're already kind of committed to doing some of them, but they will sort of abandon. So there was kind of this belief that there was going to be sort of like a really diverse, like New Avengers or something like that, or like like that kind of team,
Yeah.
kind of like diverse team. And that would be like maybe phase 6 or whatever it is. It might not happen now that people they're losing money hand over fist because of this kind of agenda stuff.
Yeah.
I think Thunderbolts kind of was supposed to be the thing that was going to be the catalyst for that next phase, like where the Young Avengers or something like that. I have a feeling it might not do as well as they expect. And I have a feeling these books will probably see the same corrections that Eternals or something like that saw.
Okay. Okay. I don't.
That's my kind of prediction about it.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
it's not an expensive book, anyways, right now, I don't think.
no. I mean, they need to. Yeah, they need to start telling stories instead of trying to sell agendas. But you and I have said that.
Yeah, many times, yeah.
Right.
But I'm thinking he's going to be Amadeus Cho. Would be my guess. If he looks the part, I actually think he'd be I think he'd do it justice too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's okay. That's good. That would be all right with
I
me.
want to leave a positive note in there somewhere.
Yeah. What the Watcher is watching, and he is watching War of the Realms: New Agents of Atlas 1.
And that's again the Asian team.
Okay. There are whispers of some characters from Agents of Atlas showing up in the upcoming Marvel content. Wave, whose first appearances in this issue has been specifically mentioned, while there are very loose rumours, this is a key book to watch closely. Has been for a couple of years, to be honest. Interesting. Yeah. These rumours popped up before the confirmation of Stephen Wood's inclusion in the Marvel universe. While we get more substantial facts to support these rumours, it's just one to watch for now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I picked up the whole set of Agents of Atlas for $10.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's cool. I mean, I think it went up a lot actually. But how much does it say the raw?
This is just watch. Doesn't give any price.
Yeah. I think you can pick it up for $10 to $20.
Yeah.
I would guess. I'm gonna guess, but
I think it's a good spec. It's been around for a couple of years as a spec.
Yeah, I mean, it again because of the way productions are going. I have a feeling that it could happen still because they've been talking about it for many years now.
Yeah.
So
okay,
it could be a good spec.
Next one here, we've got watching Ultimate Fantastic Four issue 1. Per Entertainment Weekly, Jonathan Hickman and Brian Hitch are teaming up for a new comic series, Ultimate Invasion. This will be a major comic event for Marvel, focusing on Miles Morales and the Maker. Right, what's this got to do with Fantastic Four issue 1? The event hints at the Ultimate Universe returning in some capacity. While we wait to see what this looks like, the Maker is a character to watch closely. He's a fascinating villain and indeed a terrifying threat. If you're unaware, the Maker is an alternative Reed Richards from the Ultimate from the Ultimate Universe, first appearing in Ultimate Fantastic Four issue 1. Okay, so it's the first appearance of the Maker.
Yeah. So okay. So I just didn't pick up on his name when I was reading the book. So I read this. I actually had the whole series of Ultimate Fantastic Four.
I've nearly got them all because I collect Fantastic Four. So I've just
I ended up buying the whole run from somebody.
The Zombies one.
Yeah, I mean, there's
I think I've got 2 or 3 copies of one.
yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good one to pick up, I would say. A good series actually. Lots of cool stuff happen in it. Even has the Savage Lands and stuff like that, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So yeah, it's I don't know. I would say sure. I don't think it's an expensive book though.
Expensive. It won't cost you more than a tenner, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's one worth having, and it won't.
Anytime that it's under $20 to speculate on something, I figure why not?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, comic of the week. It's a Mickey Mouse.
Oh no, this one. I bid on this one too.
Right, Alan. This one, Alan. Tell us about it then. It's from 1937.
Yeah, it's just an early Mickey Mouse Christmas cover. Kind of a cool book. I forgot what issue number is it again?
This is volume 3, issue 3.
Yeah, it's just a cool Mickey Mouse comic.
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah. There are collectors for this stuff. It's just rare and it's cool because people like Christmas covers. They like Mickey Mouse.
So I think
yeah.
I told you this, but I'll break it on. I'll break it on this show. One of the comics I traded with Silver Knight Kyle that was a Mickey Mouse Volume 1, Issue 2 from 1933.
Mm-hmm.
Also has Mickey Mouse dressing up as Santa.
Yeah.
Which is earlier than this. Well, it's 4 years.
Oh, way earlier. Way earlier. Yeah. That's 35 or 36?
This is 37. The one on here is 37.
The one that you have is 35?
33.
33. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah. So both Carl and I both sort of thought it was a 4.0. So it's just come. I'll be picking it up from CGC London next week, and it's a 6.5. It's the second highest grade.
Wow.
There's only 8 graded. There's 1 8.0. There's my 6.5, and then the rest are all lower than that.
Wow, that's huge.
That is
huge.
Yeah. And so, this sold a 9.4. This sold for 6.6. So I don't know what value to put on that. I will probably put it with Heritage because it's one of those ones
yeah. It's when it's that high of a grade.
Yeah.
Like what I tell people, and this is not even like when you're dealing with a 30s book, this kind of goes out the window a bit. But with Disney books in general, anything above a 6 is considered extremely rare, extremely valuable. Just the price goes, from you can pick up some Disney books for $5, but once it hits that 6+, it can be like thousands. It just like jumps.
Yeah, I mean, because it's not going for it. Number 2 is the second one. It's a promotion.
Yeah.
It's it got Santa. It's Mickey doing Santa on the cover.
Yeah.
It's second highest graded, and Kyle thinks the 8.0 is the file copy. So
Yeah. So I mean, you're that's a good pickup. That was a big pickup.
Yeah. So I was delighted when I saw the grading on that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Wow, that's in the thousands, I would say.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I've got.
What did you have to give up to get it?
Oh well, this was our $10,000 trade. So there was.
Yeah, I remember. So how much did you guys value it at the time?
There was we thought it was a 4.0, and there was a sale of a 4.0 for around about $460, $470.
Okay.
2 years ago. So I said to Carl, I think yours looks a bit better than that, and we put $500 on it. So
okay. Yeah. I mean,
but I think it's more than that. As you say, there's only it's the second highest graded copy. How many copies of 1933 Mickey Mouse are going to come out of the woodwork?
Yeah, they're out there, and they actually did produce a lot of them. But they not many survived is the big thing.
No.
So that's very cool.
So it's good to see that on the list, comic of the week, because that probably helps my one.
Yeah, no, this is one I saw. I think it was on Heritage or something. I forgot where I saw it. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, yeah.
But I did
CGC,
put a very half-hearted bid on it.
yeah, 9.4. I mean, that's just phenomenal. From 1937, how does anything get to be a 9.4 from 1937?
Yeah, and it didn't sell for that much. You said
1,600.
6,000, right?
Yeah,
It's not that much if you consider. I mean, thinking about it, like kind of a cool comic.
yeah, it is a cool comic. Right, okay. I think that's our lot for this week. I think we've got to the bottom of this list. We
Mhm.
have. I'm just going to stop sharing that screen.
So this, I actually really enjoyed this list. It made me have to
That's why
think a little.
I
Yeah,
looked at it and I thought, oh, actually, this is quite an interesting list. It's not got the usual suspects on it. It's got some different stuff to talk about.
yeah, and it made me think a lot more because I had like it was a lot of ones that I kind of knew about, kind of like had some clue about, but sort of like a little bit off my radar, even some of them.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
and it's always good when we find at least two books Alan hadn't heard about. I think we had
yeah.
one on Alan's show, one on this show.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
Comic fans, Alan, thank you very much. That is your lot. See you again soon.